Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV. Hey, where are the dogs? There they are. Wow, what another beautiful morning. We turned the curve of the change of season. I mean, it's just as beautiful, but it is chilly. It's 30s. Today's going to be probably close to 70, but it just really is a beautiful time of year. This just really gets you motivated to get outside, do your chores, do your outside activities, because up north here, you lose so much of that during the winter months if we really have a winter, and we did. Yeah, hey, good morning there. Appreciate everybody tuning into the channel as I get my mouth running this morning, get some coffee in me, and get the day going, get the body moving. Everybody knows that routine, right? Have some, a few sips of coffee and just kind of get the brain working, the mouth working, and the attitude going. So come on, pups, here they are, hanging out here. Diesel, he didn't want to come. He wanted to hang out here last night in the house. It was a challenge. That's a whole other story. But let me try a video in case the wife's standing there, because she should be gone by now. Hope she's okay. All right, puppies. Come on, puppies. Let's get going. Come on, get moving. Get moving outside here. It's an old routine. Do you think they know the routine by now? Do you think they know? Yeah, good news is, for Diesel and Rebel, they're now only going to the bathroom once in my trailer. I'm so close. So close, I think, for them, really, to get through the night. Hopefully they will. And the kid says, you just don't know how to train dogs, Daddy. You got to have crate train them. I enjoy having them hang out with me, which they are. They're great companions. And, wow. Come on, puppies. Let's go. Get in here. You know, it's incredible. I buy so many things in my lifetime, and I will say, it's a waste. I mean, I don't disagree. The amount of money I've wasted in my lifetime just buying stuff that never gets used, it's unbelievable. But the trailer, the camper, that you have to say is a win. I mean, sincerely, that camper, even for me, would I've ever dreamed that I'd be living in that camper now, coming up close to a year. That's hard to believe. It a year ago, I was in the mission of maybe buying a camper, all because of my good friend Chris and Shannon. We're going to the Myrtle Beach, I guess, bike week or whatever. I can't even remember. I think it was bike week, yeah. And so so it was Chris who got me on the page of helping him get his motorcycle down to Myrtle Beach, and me trailering one of my trailers, and me just stay in a hotel room, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's what really started that whole idea of me buying a camper or an RV, because my good friend Chris got me fixated on going to Myrtle Beach and spending just a minuscule amount of days down there to, so that's just incredible. But I don't think that event, the event wasn't even to be to like the middle of latter part of May, which that's when my wife had her graduation from Harvard, and so it just wasn't really good timing. But it's just crazy on how that my friend Chris, he sparked the idea. Come on, Pops, let's go. Come on, Chips. Come on, you hungry? Come on, baby, looky here. Come on, let's go, Prince. Come on, Princey. Come on, Gypsy, looky here. Come on, baby. Come on in. Come on, let's go. Come on, Gypsy. Get her in. Get the dogs fed. So the whole point of that is, it's a year later time, man. Time just goes by so fast, doesn't it? It does, but it doesn't. I'm sure we can agree with that. At certain times, it seems like it does. Come on, Gypsy, looky here, Gypsy. Come on, baby. Gypsy, come on, baby. Come on, girl. Yeah, she's just wanting to play hardball on us, which isn't a real big deal. I can let her in. I just want to get all these guys kind of contained as we get the usual routine of getting them fed. It seems like they're not, it's definitely interesting. They're getting bigger and they're eating, but it's not like it was. I mean, so I think they're just becoming more, getting into their adult years. Not really yet, but at the same time, it's just interesting to see. No, hey, Rebel, don't do that. It's interesting. Rebel, he's such a great dog. He really is. He's not a confrontational dog, but he likes to do this little food thing, which everybody knows that. But he really is not an aggressive dog. Thank God. I don't need aggressive dogs in my life. So that's a whole other project. Hey, Gypsy, and Gypsy's always kind of alone. Look at Diesel. Hello, little boy. And he's the same way. They're just not, at the moment. That can change. I've heard the stories of many people talk about how their young dog goes from being a really good dog and then gets very aggressive. So I can believe that. All right, I'm just going to leave that open. All right, where is the Gyp? Hey there, Princey. Oh, there she is. Come here, baby. Come on. Come on, Gypsy. Come here, baby. Good girl. Good girl. So Gypsy's a really good dog. Thank goodness. She is so smart. No, don't do it. Rebel, don't do that. So there's Prince on the sidelines. Good girl, good girl. Yeah, so what are you doing today? It's incredible how many people responded to my comment about my analytics on YouTube. The analytics show that the average viewing time of my long videos is about 5 minutes. But yet I've had quite a few people, which I'm very impressed. I mean, thank you very much. I'm very impressed at how many people have reached out and have said, you know what, Mr. Iceman, I watch your videos, and I watch them through the end. So now I start to think to myself, what is YouTube up to? I've always been very critical of YouTube and feeling like, why is my channel never really just got exposed? And I always think to myself, and so now you got to think, borderline, does Elon Musk need to go get into YouTube's books? Does Elon Musk need to get into the moderators and see how they control content on YouTube? And people say it's algorithms. Whatever, I don't know. But once again, if you go to my analytics and you look at the videos that I make, and I can even show you, just for the heck of it, let's see if I can even do that without burning up your time. If you just listen to me rumble on here, if I can do it pretty quickly, I will. But the whole point is, I was very impressed with how many people commented on how they do really watch my videos at a good length of time. And so, let's see here, everybody. Let's see. Let's just see if I can do this without me, like I say, kind of losing your focus of what, it was really weird. So my top content in the last 28 days is from videos from like 2 years ago. Look at this. I mean, the highest video is me buying Julia that Honda CB650R, but that was like over 2 years ago that's getting, attention. Real time. Let's see here, real time. So I don't know. It's just for me, content, trends. But that isn't me. So this is where it gets complicated. Go to content, go to videos, and how do I get that to let's just do videos, apply, and then visibility. I don't know. Is that what I do? No, that's not it. Restrictions, clips, I don't know, views, I don't know. So, once again, you see it. I'm just trying to remember where I see all this stuff. Like yesterday, the Network Marketing Stories, that got like 10 minutes of time of people watching that video that was 28 minutes long. So, let's go to a spring forward, or let's see here. Let's do Iceman. I'm just trying to do another one of the morning. Okay, so here's What a Joke About Democrats. Let's see what that did for us. That, 12 minutes and 40 seconds. I may be eating my words. But it's only half. It's only half. Okay, bye-bye, Doge and Elon. 9.39 minutes. So what I'm showing you is it's incredible how much time I put into these videos. And rainy day doldrums, state of Spock's speech, 10 minutes. So I guess, but once again, I make an average of 30-minute videos. I'm making an average of 30-minute videos. So I guess for the most part, the average time frame that they watch it is like 10 minutes, which that doesn't get you your monies. That's my understanding from Gail. You know, Gail talks about that here a while back, and so, and I don't disagree with Gail. Gail, who planted the, for the record, Gail's making it public. I didn't create the Dumbo-crats, just so you know. Just for the record, Gail is taking credit for giving me the word Dumbo-crats, and I'm like, that's fine, which in all sincereness, it's getting very confrontational, people. It's getting very dangerous of what you're saying about the Democratic Party, because it's becoming very, as you can see, and I'm not going to even do it. I'm to the point now on my channel, it's not really worth it, because really, it's really getting very riled up, and it really is just getting at a level of if you're watching the media and the news, what's going on. So I'm just not going to feed, I'm not going to feed the hate, because that's what's going on. If you just watch what's happening to Elon Musk, and you see what's going on in the background, what's happening to him, it's beyond believable. So for me, I'm on the page right now. I just don't want my channel to feed the division of our country, which right now, you have to say, is probably at a very tense time of what's going on in our country. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that. What I want to talk about is Tim Knuskis. Tim Knuskis is, oh yeah, you know, telling, what was the show with the tool man? Mr. Fix-It. What was that, the handyman? What was the name of the show of Toolman? You know, the famous, I can't even think of the actor's name, that he was Mr. Fix-It. I'm going to start calling Gail Mrs. Fix-It, because when I make videos, and don't take it the wrong way, I think it's funny, okay? So Gail, watch my video, I'm just being sarcastic with you, but she likes to point out, yeah, she likes to try to help you. Gail likes to give ideas, and she likes to be a Mrs. Fix-It. So I think I'm going to start calling Gail the Mrs. Fix-It, to replace the tool man's saying, wasn't he Mr. Fix-It or something? But anyways, for Tim Knuskis, I'm a huge Mopar guy. I really have been a Mopar guy for the most part of my life, Chevy guy. Really never was a Ford guy, as you've heard on my channel. But it's incredible how Tim Knuskis, he's the guy that was the guy that brought in 2014, it was either July or August reveal of the first Dodge Hellcat, with the 707 horsepower car. And he was the big leader of the group of the SRT brand that was pushing for the baddest ass production car ever built that was affordable to the average person per se at that time. Because originally the first Hellcats that were built, those were $59,999 cars. They were $60,000 cars. So it was within reach of a lot of people. Not everybody, but more people than less. Versus being a $100,000 car, which today that's where it's all gone. But here's the thing, Tim Knuskis, I'll never forget what Tim Knuskis did, the Dodge Charger, Banshee electric Charger reveal, and how he got crapped on. We realize or not, the Mopar community basically was like, this is an insult to you and us of you getting all excited about a Dodge electric vehicle. And for the most part, the real true Mopar IceHead people were like, Tim's lost it. You know, he sold his soul. And even to the point that Tim Knuskis just last year, he stepped down last year because I think he just was sick of the EV agenda. I think he was sick of working for Carlos Tavares of the Stellantis Automotive Group that was doing stupid things to the brand. And so he left. I mean, for the most part, he claimed he retired. But I always felt like, nah, he left. He was sick of who was trying to run the show, and he was sick of seeing it being run to the ground. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is supposedly the Ram TRX is coming back in 2026. Apparently, somebody has uncovered some secret messages or conversations, and there's always this type of thing that plays out in the car automotive industry. And I can believe it, though. But apparently, it's real that Ram TRX is coming back in 2026. It's going to have a V8 motor, and it's probably going to be supercharged. And they're saying they think it'll probably have a red-eye motor setup in it. And the V8 motors are coming back to the Ram 1500 trucks as well. That's supposedly hey, don't do it. Supposedly the rumor of what's going on, and once again, I believe that. I think that's why Tim Knuskis came back to the Ram brand. So he was in charge of the Dodge side, And then when he came back, his responsibility now is on the Ram truck side. And I think that he saw more of an opportunity to stuff V8 motors back in trucks versus cars because of just for the fact that the big trucks, 2,500 series, hey, stop it! Just for the fact, hey, no, stop it, Gypsy, you're creating problems here. Just for the fact that on the EPA guidelines, you don't have the same stringent guidelines on heavy-duty trucks. And I know the 1,500 truck is in a heavy-duty truck, but he can get away with more, I think, in the truck and SUV side. But interestingly enough, if you fully realize or not, the Durango RT this year does no longer has that 6.4 392 motor in it. They took it away. You can only get the 5.7 or like the 3.6, or you can get the supercharged motor setup. So for anybody out there that loved that 392 motor setup in that Durango for a better price car without having to go to the Stratosphere for a Hellcat setup, that's gone. You can't do it anymore in 2025. Be interesting what they do. I've never been a Dodge Durango fan. I mean, it's a nice car, but I just never have thought it looks. I just never thought it has the look. But it's a nice car. I agree with that. So once again, here I am wearing my Dodge Charger General Lee hat, and you have to say to yourself, what is the next big announcement, which I think will follow from the Ram TRX coming back to the Dodge Charger having a V8 motor stuff back in it. I really think that's going to probably play out. I think Dodge will have no choice to do that because I think they're going to see that their customer base is not anything close to the 6-cylinder motor setup and electric vehicle setup. In fact, up here at Leesburg Dodge, when I was there last week, doing that video of the tariffs on cars, and I was talking to them. You saw that video about what's going to happen and better buy one now than later. And so it is interesting how the two Dodge Chargers there, the one that I test drove and did a review on, they've only gotten 2 in so far. They both sold. And I was like, really? The 2 electric Chargers sold that quickly? I mean, it's already been a month since I did that review. But I said, well, who bought them? Hey, stop it. I said, who bought them? And they said, well, the sales guy bought one that works here and the finance guy. I'm thinking, man, you just bought a freaking Anchor. Ask me how I know. And that is that you buy these electric vehicles. Hey, stop it. You know, Gypsy this morning's got an attitude with on here, but she's fixated on Rebel. These two here have a little spat going back and forth, which I'm not so sure I like this. No, stop it. So, and then it's all about seeing. Diesel did try to mount Gypsy yesterday evening. So that's not, but this is what she does. See, Gypsy takes the domination. That's what's so funny about these unique dogs. No, chill out. So now for, once again, the Ram brand, are they seeing the paint on the wall? And now, and we know with Trump being in office and him pulling back on all this radical EV agenda, he is, I guess, spurring or sparking the interest of people, once again, or I should say maybe the automotive side sees that the ICE age isn't done as much as we thought it was, and the government is giving us a little bit more breathing room again to put the ice back in these cars. Now, the birds haven't moved in. I swear, last year at this time, the bird problem was huge in here. I was telling Julia the other day, we went to Florida for close to a month last year from like February through part of March. Ooh, this and that. Wow, what the hell is that? And you have to say to yourself, with me being gone, with us being gone for that amount of time, did that open the door for the birds to move in because there was just no activity in the barn? Because for the moment, the birds are not here. For the moment, the birds are not, there's sure, I think a bird or one or two may be flying around here, but I haven't seen them. I see a bird crap on my car every now and then, but not on everything else like you've seen before. So, with a glimmer of hope, us being very active in the barn and the dogs being here, with a glimmer of hope, the birds aren't going to show up and just start crapping all over my garage. Man, what the hell's going on, man? That sounds like a shotgun down the street. I don't know if you hear that in the background, but it definitely sounds like somebody's shooting something, which that's not comforting, is it? So, in the automotive world, for me, I haven't really been as fixated on reading all the news about all the different cars and the motorcycles, somewhat, but not as much. I've been doing more of the news and media. And what I've really been watching lately is Vince McMahon, the all-time WWF, World Wrestling Federation, World Wrestling Entertainment. I've been watching the documentary series on Vince McMahon on his life story of where he came from. And his father really was the true beginnings of him getting molded into that. But it's incredible to watch that series of how crazy that was. And what's really even more interesting is on how I never got caught up in that. I can remember as a kid back in New Jersey in 7th grade, a young boy, my age, of course, in my class, bringing in this black and white magazine that was basically the WWF or whatever. It probably was called something different back then. But I still remember him looking at these. He was so intrigued to look at all these different people supposedly wrestling. And right from the get-go, I was like, that's just fake, man. That's just fake. As a kid, I was like, that's all staged. I mean, don't get me wrong. What these guys do is incredibly, athletic talent capability. But we all know it's a staged game. But unbeknownst to me, it's such the big following, especially back, I guess you say the 80s and the 90s and even the 2000 years of how big, and I guess even today it still is. It's massive for the personalities. Hey, get out. What are you doing? For the personalities that are evolved. Like, look at The Rock. Look at Hulk Hogan. I mean, these are superstar personalities that came from that fake wrestling, and it's just incredible on how to see the story of Vince McMahon and what he went through to run that, and all the, dirty in so many ways, and ruthless, and how he treated people. And so it's a great series. Anybody has a chance, I'm still watching it. It's like like 4 or 5 or 6 series. It's very long, like hour episodes. And I'm just really enjoying watching that to look at when I was, really, that was my kind of growing up era. But I never got caught up to sitting there and watching that stuff or going to the events. So he would draw massive rallies. I mean, it's incredible what that industry accomplished and did and what it created. But also, created a lot of anger and hate and disrespect, especially for the women. And that's what it talks about, how crazy. I'm now watching it where it got into just radical, crazy stuff they were doing to try to compete against other event organizers that were fighting for the main time Monday night slot from WCW for the WWE, and how McMahon went from being the number one broadcast entertainment to being number 18th or something, because WCW came in, a whole different guy. You probably even know his name. I can't remember his name, but this other guy was trying to copy Vincent McMahon, and he overtook the number one spot on radio on TV of entertainment, and he took away Hulk Hogan, and he took away a lot of these superstar wrestlers that eventually Vince had just kind of ended their career. He felt like they had their run, and eventually he had to show them the door by making them not win any more, basically staged wrestling world, championship events. So that was a pretty cool series there in itself. Look at the pups. Now the weather's turning, so much more time to jump on the bike and go ride the motorcycles, which hopefully I get to do that. And I got the project of the Harley CVO of changing out the clutch, which that's going to be a nice little project for me. But now the guy that was going to buy my Harley, this is the second guy now. This is no lie. This is the second time I've had a guy that all over that 2021 Harley CVO sitting in my trailer. You don't really see it a lot. And it's like Blaze Metal or something like that. I can't remember the name. It looks like a lava rock, if you've seen it. It's a very unique color. And so either you like it or you don't. But here I had a guy last year, it was like September, I think, of last year, that was going to buy that motorcycle. He was definitely going to buy that motorcycle. He even had Skyline Harley, the local dealer near me, arranged to have everything done at the dealership, go over the bike, do the paperwork, and finalize the deal. And the guy wanted to go on vacation for 2 weeks to go see his family. And he went away for 2 weeks. He came back and he said, nah, I don't want to do it. He changed his mind. Now, I just had a guy come here this past weekend with his son, and same thing. He came by, he looked at the bike, and he seemed pretty much like he's going to want to buy it. But at the same time, he talked about the ST a lot. So I just already knew that he was really on the page. He really likes that CVO ST. Probably seen it in person, probably just even made it that much more attractive. And so anyway, so yesterday he reached out to me and he said, it's a no-go. I'm not going to do it. And I'm like, wow. So I just relisted the Harley-Davidson on Marketplace once again for the CVO 2021. And does it sell? You know, it's just beyond believable. I bought that bike. Never, ever would have bought that motorcycle had I known that they were going to update this Road Glide, the Harley line, in such a shorter time frame than I thought they would. I mean, I just am stumped because I never would have bought it because I really thought that the CVO, that was a good deal to buy CVO because they were making more of a limited production of CVO back in 2020, 2021, 2022, and things started changing on them just mass producing the CVO, only in the end to mass produce the ST, which now they're giving them away to a degree, not totally, but they're discounting them. You can get one probably for about $39,000. I don't think that's the price out the door though. That's what the gentleman said. Is he's going to pay $39,000 for a brand new white CVO ST. And I'm thinking, I have a hard time believing that's out the door price. I think once you throw in sales tax and admin fee or something in there, I think it'd probably be more like 42 or 43, but whatever. I mean, but I hope the best for him. And I told him sincerely, if I had the cash flow and the money to buy, I would buy a brand new one. I wouldn't buy mine. So I get all that. But just so those are people out there, old school Jerry keeps on asking me about that. And so to answer your question, no, the CVO is still here. And it's not going anywhere yet. Haven't any more bites on Messenger. In the area I live in, with all the uncertainties that the media is doing to people, I'm sure it's scaring the hell out of a lot of people. So, you know, the media machine right now is all revved up on the scare factor, which is working. I mean, it's huge. It's working big time. That the media is presenting that everybody's going to lose their job, that everything's going to be more expensive than ever seen in our lifetime, and that we're going to be in World War III. I mean, come on. And that's what I say. I'm just not going to feed the machine on that today. May change my mind tomorrow, but for the moment, I'm just not going to feed the machine. That's just the negativity of what's going on in our country. Never ever seen. And as we know, legacy media and the powers to be are ramping it up like not ever seen in modern times. And I even mentioned that a while back that if Trump gets elected, I think you're going to see people in the streets all over again. Come on. Was I right on that one? But that's it. 30-minute videos. That's my goal. So everybody, appreciate you watching my channel. And do I bring more content today? Hope I do. And hopefully you guys have a great day, blessed day. It's a beautiful time of year, and hope everybody's enjoying it. So God bless, and have a great day.